In amongst all your highlights, Greggy, and mate, I honestly think that you're exactly what Cooper said. You did things on a field, and Sam said it yesterday that others couldn't. But the moment for me that stands out because. Yeah, I grew up in Newcastle, playing local footy up there and
playing on the wing.
Probably should have. And I played with a lot of really great Indigenous kids, and guys that had far more talent than I ever did. But that moment, mate, where you stand and in amongst that huddle and you just rise, with all the boys around you. Tell me about that moment because that, for me, it is moments like that that just inspire all those Indigenous kids in the communities that they can get to where you got to.
Yeah, it was. I don't know where it just came from. Like I said, I had great leaders around me, and I remember this conversation clearly. What Cooper was saying, it was like Cooper pretty much taught me. It's like the way you act around the community is the way you want to be presented. And I'll be represented around amongst everyone else within the team, within the community. So him, Cam Smith, and Matty Guy actually taught me that, and it always stuck with me. And yes, I had my hiccups along the way, but it's something that I always wanted to do, is always give back to the community. But in going back to the huddle, everyone just looked at me when we actually came up with that war cry dance, and that symbolises us as a community, as our Indigenous community and our leaders. And in saying that, we was all just looking around the room, and I looked up and everyone was looking at me, and I was like, oh, you know what, stuff it, I'll just do it. Yep, just give it to me. So
been unreal walking down memory lane, and I need to apologise because we haven't caught up for a long time. So I am shouting, when this coronavirus is over, I am shouting you breakfast and a big, big coffee, mate. Hey, what does the future hold, Greg? We're going to see you coaching Queensland. What are we going to do? Are you in and around football?
you know what, Cooper, my whole life has been about footy, and yes, I had my struggles after I retired, and everyone said that, and I was like, no, I'll be fine, I'll be back in it. There's no doubt that it's publicly that I had my definitely down times in it, but actually being back around rugby league, everyone kept asking me about, let's just see how he goes in coaching. No way in hell did I want to do coaching. No way. Being back in the 16s, 18s, 20s, the cup, to actually like working with the first graders, it's so satisfying. And all I want to do in that role as a development coach is actually develop these players to make them better players, to make it to the next level of their career. And that's all I want from these players. That's under that I can control. And if I do that, well, then that makes me happy. But in future, if it happens to be down that role and I'll get the call up, yeah, I'll put my hand up for it, but I'm not looking for that right now. I'm just happy to be in my role as development coach around the club and just enjoying going back in there. But right now, I'm happy building horse paddocks and fences and whatever else is around here at the moment.
We've missed you, big fella. We've missed having you around.
Certainly have. You've still got so much to give back to the game of rugby league. I want to ask you about your relationship with Latrell Mitchell and how have you helped him settle into Souths with everything that's been going on?
It was a pretty much way I see it. It was a nasty couple of months going on for him, and I'm glad he went back home to Taree to actually see all his family. The thing is, with Indigenous people, and I said this when I walked out, well, not walked out, when I retired, is one thing that I've lost being away from home was my connection and spiritual connection to country. So that was something that I lost, and I'm glad that Latrell, even James Roberts, actually get back home. They grew up together. They from the same area, so I'm glad to see them. It's only 3 hours up north. It's so good to see them going home, coming back, smiling, happy in training. And then, but with Latrell's transition, yeah, it may take him a lot more time because he hasn't played there since he was 16, 17. Played there, I think, once for the Roosters, so it's going to take time, but he has the right coaching staff around him to do that.
You're confident he can do it, Greggy? You've seen enough at training to know that he can do it?
Oh, mate, the way, yeah. It's the things he does at training. It's like he's in second gear pretty much. It's seeing him just float around, just doing everything. The only thing with Latrell that he needs to get right is obviously his defense. Everything else, we can all see his ability to attack and run defense at centre, but defense at fullback and get the numbers right is totally different. If it wasn't for Latrell, well, then maybe Roosters wouldn't have won the grand final last year. With that flick pass, with the confidence that he has.
Yep.
And that's one thing that Latrell has is confidence. And if we keep pushing him that, well, then he'll make a great fullback.
Well, he's got an incredible role model to have a yarn to any time that he wishes. And, GI, that connection to country, it's so valuable, not just for our current players, but for yourself. We can see that you're very connected to where you are right now. We hope you enjoy isolation with Barry the horse. You keep each other company. We really appreciate you joining us.
It's me, good old Basler out here. So
Take care, Greggy.
Catch up
thanks,
soon,
guys.
mate.
Take care.
See you,
See
mate.
you, buddy. See you, kids.